Greetings fellow mammals. While we are all starting into the second beta weekend, I want to recommend some of my favorite weapons from the first one, talk about how I built them and what my general thought process is when picking attachments. So let's talk about my personal first place, the M417A2. This is a weapon from the carbine category, which means even if you play the locked weapons playlist, you can still use this on every single class. For some context, this thing has a 10 meter 3-shot range, a pretty decent 4-shot range and an infinite 5 bullet to kill range. No specific numbers here because the gun range right now is absolute dog shit, unfortunately. Anyway, as far as I could tell, the suppressors in this beta take you off the map entirely. Full stealth. That makes them really useful. And for people saying, stealth doesn't matter, you are constantly spotted anyway. No, you are not. Just play a few rounds in any aircraft and you will notice how little people actually spot. And I noticed that myself immediately on day one when I tried the first suppressor I unlocked. It helps massively. Enemies just run past you and you can pick them off from behind, which works even better if you crouch sprint because that reduces the footstep noise quite a bit. And that brings me to my build priority. Priority number 1 is get a suppressor on there. Now some weapons have multiple different ones, like the M417 here has 2. In that case I would go with the cheapest one first as a baseline. Because we don't pick a suppressor for the stat buffs but for the stealth aspect first. And now we try to get the rest in order, and if we still have points left in the end, then we can allow ourselves the luxury of the better one. So for right now I just picked the standard suppressor. Priority number 2 is getting the recoil down. The best attachments for that are the grips, and it's worth investing in the best one if you ask me. So here I picked the 6H64 vertical grip. Now we have stealth and recoil covered. The third priority, and I didn't think I'd ever say this, is hipfire. Hipfire is really good in this game. They might tone it down for launch, but right now it can be insanely accurate on some weapons. And even if this specific gun is not as strong in that regard, you still want a hipfire that can reliably hit in close quarters, because we want to make efficient use of that 3 bullet to kill range up to 10 meters. For that reason, for priority number 3, you should focus on getting some kind of laser on your weapon. And same as with the grips, I think it's worth it going for the best one you can get. In this case, that would be the 50 MW green. Now that we have covered all 3 priorities, it's time to adjust the rest. So let's take off some quick stuff first. The sights are a completely subjective decision. I like a very simple 1x zoom because that just fits my playstyle the most. So I am stuck with the OSA-7 scope. Not my favorite in terms of reticle, but it is what it is for now. We only have 5 points left to spend at this stage, so I will just say that I have tried all the different ammo types and I am neither convinced nor really impressed. They never quite felt like they were worth the points. So I just leave it at full metal jacket and rather invest the savings somewhere else. And as an additional prioritization, I would argue that magazines are more important than barrels. Therefore, I put my last 5 points into the 20 round fast magazine. Because with that few rounds we will be reloading a lot, so speeding that up will come in handy. But that also means that the barrel will just stay on the regular 13-inch standard one. That is my build. It has worked very well for me, I had a lot of fun with it, and I hope my thought process regarding the choices I made makes sense to you. It should be obvious that different kinds of players might prioritize different things, so if my setup doesn't work for you, change some stuff around. It's probably not the weapon, but the attachments. For example, initially I didn't care about the hipfire, because I never did in past games. So I had a setup with the bigger magazine and the better suppressor, and I think even a different barrel, but I'm not sure anymore. Regardless, that setup worked great too. It's just after trying out some things that I decided for myself good hipfire should be one of my priorities. And this is actually a general takeaway I have from the first beta weekend. This is a new game. It has new mechanics. It has yet hidden mechanics possibly, and even returning old mechanics, and those might be slightly different than before too. All of that is not a problem, at least in most cases. You just have to be open-minded and try to adjust a little. I went into this playing it like 2042 and I had an awful awful first few hours, to be completely honest with you, and then I actively decided to just slow things down, and that helped instantly. So I advise you to do the same. Not everything is bad because it's new or different. Sometimes we just have to leave our familiar trodden paths and shake up our ways a little to enjoy new things. And with that, I will close for now. I will be covering other weapons soon, but in the meantime, I will see you on the battlefield. Sorrow out.